campus in front of hyped-up and partisan crowds. Two teams battling for the right to move on to the quarterfinals. And our matchup tonight sets up a potential Cinderella story. The last team to qualify for this 12-team playoff on the road against a team that likely believes it should be resting and watching this first-round game on TV. This is a dangerous spot for the home team and a chance for the underdog to spring an upset and move on to the quarterfinals. As we'll see.
Hello. Big name on.
To throw, it's Brown. He finds the running back in the flat. And he'll head out of bounds, but not. On third down, he drops to throw. He finds a wide-open receiver. They forget. That's a big hit at the end, but they earn a fresh set of downs. Georgia setting up for the 1st and 10 now.
That's a great job of working the middle of the field by this quarterback, and he picks up big yards.
Now this is the 8th play on this drive. Handoff from the shotgun. Goes backwards, losing 3 yards there.
The back just had nowhere to go. How about the defensive line? They eat up all the blocks up front, freeing those linebackers up to be able to make the play. Just a bad play all around for this offense.
Not going to be easy here. Backed up a long way to go for a first down. Offense moving receivers around now before the snap. Drops back, looking to throw for it on third down. And he decides to just throw it away. That's going to bring up 4th down now. Coach electing to go for a field goal attempt. This will be a 35-yard attempt. Long enough and good.
Wow.
To throw, it's Brown. Lets it go quickly. Here's a wide-open receiver, complete. Breaks into the clear. It's a sprint. Brought down to the 18, and suddenly this offense is in the red zone. The Bulls come up to the line to crank the tempo up here. From inside the red zone, they're looking to throw. Missed his receiver. It's incomplete.
Yeah, this is the one thing I love about this running back is his ability to get involved in the pass game. Runs a great route, just doesn't come down with a catch.
They look to throw it here on second down. Looking to the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdowns. Corner's back up now, playing a couple yards off the ball. Drops back, looking to throw for it, and he'll loft it to the end zone. And it's caught.
Player in the league the last 7 years. It's Josh. In the last 2 years, there have been 100 first-place MVP votes given out. 98 of them went to the #1 seeds in either conference. 2 went to someone who was not on the #1 seed. Any guess who got votes, though? it was Josh Allen. Last year, one guy, other than Lamar Jackson, got a first-place MVP vote. It was Josh Allen. So I don't think he has been underrated. I think he has been, I'm sorry.
Right.
I think that he has been given more of a margin of error than any other great player. And now it's a tiny bit of criticism. And his GM is acting like it's unfair, and it's not unfair. It is fair. He's a great player.
I'm in the middle on this one. I'm yes and no, it's warranted. Yes, because when you look at Josh Allen and you talk about all the things that he has done and what he hasn't gotten done, I say yes, it's because of the wins and losses and when they happen. When you talk about a guy that's considered to be arguably one of the best in the game, always in that top 5 talking conversation, you Patrick Mahomes, whoever else you want to, I say C.J. Stroud, whoever else you want to put there. But he doesn't get it done in the postseason. He's had the one postseason that we all, and that we all.
So the offense takes the field in the final seconds of the half. Chance for just a couple more plays.
13 seconds. He went crazy. He played his lights up. Other than that, he hasn't been able to get over the hump of Patrick Mahomes. So you can say, yeah, he's a bit overrated. However, outside of that, statistically, no. Like, he gets it done. Like, other than the fact that he is a turnover machine, I played with the guy like that was a turnover machine, but he was one of the best in the business, and that was Brett Favre. We dealt with it because high risk, high reward. But if you don't take those shots, if he doesn't play that way, you don't get the best of who he really is. So for me, like, does Brandon Reeves have a right to be bothered by this? Of course, this is your quarterback. And is somebody talking about Josh Allen without putting their name on it? That's a whole other topic. But is it warranted? Yes and no. So
the result is a short loss for the offense. Nice job.
The pass percentage stat makes sense of it. Because my theory is that perhaps people in the Buffalo Bills organization say, you know what? Maybe if we're going to interlead as a passer, maybe we should change the offense and take the ball out of his hands a little bit, start turning it, become a little bit more of a run team, and start winning games. So prior to Joe Brady taking over, they were throwing the ball 59% of the time. After Brady took over, they went down to 48% of the time. So through the playoffs, they started winning games, and it's the lowest in the NFL. Now, some of those runs were designed Josh runs, so he still gets credit for those. But now they're throwing the ball the least percentage-wise in the whole league, Greg. Doesn't that make you think that the offensive coordinator also thinks that Josh is a little bit overrated as a pro?
You know, I think they were trying to taper back his ability to get turnovers to the opponent. Yeah. So it in the same sense, like
the coverage team makes the stop.
What makes him special? What makes him different? Why would you even consider him being top 5, top 7 quarterback every single year? And so, yes, they had to temper that and dial it back, because if they didn't, he was clearly going to harm them. It had been ailing them all season long. Once they did that, it changed the way they look offensively. Now you have to pretty much in that
late in the game, he needs to continue to play with that consistency. That's a great example of his
decision, what his decision-making skills are like at the line of scrimmage. That's what changed. When you did that. Now it's like, okay, I have a great running play, I have a great running team now. Let's lean on that. I don't have to do all things and be hero. So I think that's right, but I also think that Josh Allen as a consistent passer
they're sitting back in zone. They're trying to double cover certain receivers. Everything that they've tried is unfortunately for them not working because of how well this quarterback is seeing and throwing today.
Here's where he has been in passer rating in his career. His third year was his best season. It was the year they didn't win a conference championship game. They won 13 games. They got blown out by the Chiefs, but that was a Chiefs era defending champs.
Wow.
Since then, 16, 8, 16. I've described it multiple times. People get mad. They're like, I'm passer rated. Okay, let's just do all the passing stats since that great season. That great season, he was just throwing the ball top 5 without a doubt, which then when you add the running, that's how you become top 2, top 3. Since then, this is 3 years. 23rd in completion percentage, 15th in touchdown interception, dead middle in passer rating. That's a real sample. And when I say I think that there is a double standard, I can prove it to the audience right now with a little, like, this for the audience. Play along and on.
They finally get him down. It's a big
game
there
in the
playoff
game, the last game Josh Allen just played.
And he falls short.
What everyone now knows is the missed field goal. Because we're going to pretend that a tie game with 2 minutes left, we give the ball back after Mahomes, guaranteed win. But that's fine. We can pretend that.
The other side suddenly, Kirk,
Josh Allen doing this game for him.
but it's been a good ride.
Just what do you think? Do you think he had 300 yards? Do you think he had 250 yards? Do you think he had
advances, and they should be happy.
in that game, Josh Allen was 186 yards. In that game, Josh Allen averaged less than 5 yards per attempt. In that game, Josh Allen had 0 completions of greater than 15 yards.
And that is going to wrap it up. We enjoyed this one here.
Against your first drive, you had one of your least productive passing games of the year. And was that any type of narrative afterwards? Was that on? No, it wasn't. He, on the opening drive of the game, and the reason I push back on the running stuff a bit is this. Josh Allen's running is a bit of trick or treat. I think he's clearly one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the league. But it is, to act like any criticism is unfair, he's one of the least criticized players in football. Odds to win the AFC. The champs are at 1. The Ravens are at 2. Buffalo tied with Cincinnati, and then the Texans coming at the 5 spot. Greg, do you think the Bills are a legit threat to win the AFC?
Here's where I'm completely opposite of this. I don't think that they are a legit threat to win the AFC, simply because when I look at their roster and when I know their quarterback.
See, for real, first off, that was my whole childhood. Second off, where in the world happens? Like, first love enchanting and now petty levels? Who's next?
Although he is elite, he has still shown signs to where he doesn't rise to the occasion and deal the way that he needs to when it's all on him. When we say Josh Allen, go get it done, do we absolutely believe
the game you think of is the game you referenced? Absolutely. The game they ended up losing. That one, which is not his fault.
It just won. And so for me, I just look at their roster in previous years, and I feel like they were better suited, especially offensively, to make a run versus what they have now this year, a younger team, unproven guys, and you're saying our quarterback, he's an elite guy, put it all on his shoulders. Can he do it? That's to be found out. We don't know. And so for me, I don't think that they're a threat to win the AFC.
See, so this is where, and we're gonna do it in about an hour. We're gonna do like we tease at the top. See you later. Keep going. What you mean? Oh, that's a prank. It's a prank. What you doing? Watch out. You're tripping. We recorded. It's a video. Tripping, bro. You good, bro. I ain't want to touch your boss.
Кулачная работа мощная. Сначала Павел немножко уходит вниз. Встает нормально. Получает челюсть. И опять вниз уходит. И фух. Уже не встает. Can you maybe see something? You gotta start going. Start? No, you start.
Super Bowl bubble thing, and you'll see I have a bias in it. And it's a bias towards the quarterbacks I believe in. Even if they haven't proven it yet, the guys who I believe are A-plus talents, I think those teams are always alive. So, of course, the Bills are alive. Because at some point, he should corral all of it. That's what is, and I understand some of the audience might be confused by me having this take. I am not putting a steel. On what Josh Allen ultimately will be. I'm just trying to be honest about what he has been up to this point. But we have seen stretches of football where it's like, oh yeah, that guy can absolutely terrify you and win a championship. The question is, can he string it together at the right time? And the other question probably is, can someone else beat the Chiefs for him? Because I don't think they can beat Kansas City in a game that matters. I think that the best chance they had, they didn't get it done, and now there's a real psychological thing happening, which is why I showed that first play, which people think that's an odd criticism. I think that the Bills were on tilt the first play of that game. Stephon Diggs fumbled on their first play of the playoff game against the Chiefs, and Josh Allen threw a lateral on 3rd and 17 up the field because they were pressing from the very beginning. But I don't think if you have a consensus top 5 quarterback, you're eliminated. I don't, especially when he is, to be fair to Josh, when he can cover up some of the roster weaknesses because he can take off and be a running game unto himself. So I'm obviously not going to pick them, and they would not be one of my 2 or 3 favorites, but I'm not crossing them off the contender list because I think they still have talent on defense, and they have a guy at quarterback who, in moments, looks terrible.
Austin Country. So this is the opposite of bulletin board material. Everyone believes in the Chiefs. Are you worried, and do you think Kansas City is better off being doubted?
Greg, this is why the Chiefs winning this last Super Bowl is bad for business. And I mean, it's bad for our business.
Yeah, literally.
It literally, and I don't mean this show specifically, I mean sports media as a whole. Because everyone now has either literally or figuratively bitten the knee, and no one wants to doubt it. I think a few people did. I think a few people. But 2 years ago, I remember, I think we were still in boxes, my dear friend Kevin Wilds yelling at me, saying, oh, I'm sorry, I thought Tyreek Hill was good. And in that moment, he was trying to convince me that Matt Ryan and the Colts were a real threat. And all these teams that got better, and the Chiefs got worse. That was the conversation. And then Wilds came around. And then last year, the whole sports media world agreed in unison the Chiefs are cooked.
Yep.
That obviously the Bills are more dangerous. Obviously the Ravens are more dangerous. And you know what? I'd rather play the Chiefs than play the Cleveland Browns with Joe Flacco slinging the ball the way he did. And then everyone looked like fools, except for 1 or 2 people, one really. And now, no one's going to doubt them. I don't care if they start 0-3. No one is going to doubt them. And so it doesn't matter if they're better off being doubted. They're now undoubtable, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know why they're undoubtable, and I'm not picking the Chiefs just yet. So the reason why they're undoubtable is because what he was able to do, and I was one that, doubted them.
The most even doubted them.
I did. I pretty much them all. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Because what he was going to have to do was so different than what they had ever looked like and what he had ever done. Like, he's always been a fantastic quarterback and somebody that can be counted on in the waning moments of the game. He can win you the game. But to carry a team, to get guys who hadn't performed at the level that was needed all season long, to finally, just in for one game at a time, 4 quarters. Just catch the ball, get down, convert, step your game up a little bit. Patrick Mahomes was able to do that with a lesser talented roster last year than we had ever seen him with. And now, obviously, you add a couple pieces around him. Based off what they did last year, it's like, yeah, okay. I think they can be okay.
What do you mean? That Mahomes needs a little bit of chip on his shoulder. I don't know if he has it. We have the bulletin board, but
no, I don't, because arguably the best year he ever played was the Super Bowl defense. When nobody doubted him, when he was running away with MVP until he sat at the very end of the year. They were 14-1 when he played, and there were no questions still at Tyreek. Here's the problem, I think. Like, when we look back on what was the analysis of last football season, the reason people thought the Chiefs couldn't win, it'd be one thing was like, guys,
This defense is too bad. I don't care how great Mahomes is. He's not on the field when the defense is out there. This defense allowing 40 points a game. You can't overcome it.
Yeah.
The analysis behind the Chiefs being bad was what Wild said right there. Their passing game wasn't going to be good. And that
they had the most drops in 3 years. They lost the Lions game because of drop. They lost the Packers game because of the drop. Kadarius Toney doing silly stuff. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily Mahomes centric. I don't think anyone said Mahomes can't get it done. It was the guys he's going to are literally dropping.
It was the games. I didn't say anything was saying. It was that people really convinced themselves that the Chiefs defense was good enough to win a championship. The coach was good enough to win a championship. Their running backs noting sticks. The running game was going to win a championship. The Achilles heel for the Chiefs was going to be their passing game. And everyone thought it. And now I think people look back on it and are like, well, that was dumb. We shouldn't have thought that.
No,
so now, it was definitively dumb.
No.
What do you mean no?
No, if we look at what transpired over the course of the season, like we had records to show, they're just not good enough.
They dropped exactly. So, did that end up being right or wrong? I'm just curious.
It got corrected.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
The thing is, they're
completely got corrected.
One of their receivers fumbled the ball at the 1-yard line going into the end zone in the playoffs. It did not get corrected. It was just overwrought the whole time. And the idea that guy behind Wild 10 wasn't going, the idea that what you described, that it was a surprise, was, in my opinion, foolish. That maybe the greatest player we've ever seen at his athletic peak wasn't going to rally everyone to a higher level. That's what all-time greats do. And so the fact that the doubt centered around something that Patrick was in control of, not like with the offensive lines all injured, where the defense can't stop. Something that he has direct control over was ridiculous.
I know you had it never in doubt all last year, but based off of what you saw, when you were in your home watching your Chiefs play, you knew this was going to be the most challenging playoff run that they were going to see.
Everything is different than you can't win.
Of course, you wanted to give up on them because you could. Because it would be ridiculous. Because across the history of sports,
if any scenario is the team has one of the greatest coaches ever, one of the greatest players ever, and the side of the ball he doesn't play on is the best they've ever had, that team would always be considered, if not the favorite, second or third. And people lost their minds briefly, which maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll happen again, because it seems like we're not even in agreement that last year's doubt was full.
The reason why people lost their mind, I'm going to speak for me, because football is so unique. It's a one or done. It's a hit or miss. Like, you don't get a second game to get it right in the postseason. And so, all of a sudden, I'm supposed to dismiss everything that we saw all season long and believe, you know what? I know Patrick Mahomes is the best player in this game, but is he good enough to where he can just do it by himself? And that for me is why it was no, he wasn't. But somehow everybody else is starting to elevate their level.
But in order to believe that had to happen, you had to dismiss already everything you had seen prior. You have to dismiss all the playoff runs. You have to dismiss the way the team changes all of it in the postseason. And to answer Wild's point, all of a sudden he's making guys catch the ball. All of a sudden he's throwing exclusively to Travis Kelce or a guy is wide open. All of a sudden, yes, he is adjusting and making things simple. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.
James Jones got get in the league, Super Bowl champ, led the Packers last year in touchdown, receiving yards, even on the way out of town. Some play, huh? It feels funny when you talk about the advantage to having an experience, you don't have to install anything. If these guys know how to win, situationally they're usually great. You don't have, these guys on third down, fourth down, goal line. The downside is guys start looking at that clock, start going, I'll make sure I get one more deal.
Manny's not up for no contract. Myself not up for no contract. Jordan Nelson not up for no contract. Michael Finley. Oh, we all just sitting there like, man, we just got drafted. We playing football. We care about none of this. Are we supposed to be winning? Should we be winning? We don't know. We just out here playing. So, it's just a different type of energy. As you get up there in years, you're like, okay, man, that's Super Bowl clock ticking too. You know what I mean? Hey, I got to keep my body fresh. I don't want to practice as much as I used to practice.
You had a lot of stuff. They discard you.
A lot of stuff goes on with the veteran football team. On top of, I'm only going to play 1, 2, 3 more years, maybe. I need to try to make as much money as I possibly can. So now money starts to become first over this football team.
Kittle, Trent, Christian. This is an old team, by the way. Fred Warner's got a lot of folks. So I think the downside to San Francisco, I said, I love the roster. This is what happens to old teams, especially old teams that don't have a trophy. That adds a little dimension to, we're not sure we get the trophy. I'm at least getting out of the sport with money.
Yep. And that's why this is a difficult situation, not only for the Niners, but for Trent. I don't have no more guaranteed money after this year. I want to make sure I'm good financially, guaranteed money, injuries or anything happens. And the Niners don't even sniff or get back to a Super Bowl without Trent Williams on that offensive line. So, Brandon Ayuk, I understand you're holding out and all that, but Brandon Ayuk should be calling Trent Williams right now saying, you put this into the draft, I got my money. Because now this puts the week back. Because I can't get Brandon Ayuk money, and now I'm trying to figure out, scratch and call how to get Trent money. Trent has to get his money first because we're not the football team that we want to be or can be without Trent.
Their winning percentage drops
all the way down.
Trent doesn't play.
And it's crazy because a lot of people think like the San Francisco 49ers offensive line is good. No, Trent is good. Well, Trent is great. So we overcome a lot of that stuff, but they don't have a dominant offensive line. You have a really young quarterback who depends on Trent. That's why when he's not in there, it's a lot more pressure. It's hard to get the ball out of your hand. It's difficult. So Big 7-1, he has to be out there, figure out the money, figure out the guarantee, and then hopefully work something out on you.
I said this, when you look at a big company, in a big position, it could be, Exxon, it could be Meta, it could be Apple. If you have a big position and make a small mistake, when the president could make a small mistake, the president gets beat up. If you work for a small company, the Tampa Bay Rays, the Jaguars, you can make a huge mistake. Nobody cares. So I made this argument. The two biggest brands in the NFL currently, Cowboys and Packers. And Mike's the only guy in the league that's coached both. So when he has a bad fourth down, he gets killed. So, don't get Mike McCarthy because they never won a big game. Yeah, they did. There's 11 playoff wins. He had the top 10 offense, top 5 offense 10 times, the number 1 offense 4 times. Favre was old and grumpy and ad-libbing one of them. Aaron was gifted, but at the end got privileged one of them. And Dak's good, not special, and he let the NFL on. So my take is, with McCarthy, and he coached the Jaguars and the Texans and had the same record, we consider him
I have a statue in front of the stadium.
But the Packers, we watch their games. The Cowboys, we watch their games.
Yeah.
So when you butcher a fourth down call, which, by the way, is supposed to knock on Andy Reid forever.
Yeah.
We didn't love his situation. Then he got Mahomes and nobody cared. So I said, if you look at the records, our staff put this together. If you take out Brady and Mahomes, and anybody who coached them, this, and now, McCarthy's playoff records is 11-11.
Yeah.
It is in line with the all-time greats, except Belichick and Andy, because they have the 2 best quarterbacks ever. And my argument is, Mike is a bit of a victim of making small mistakes with huge brands.
Yeah, I mean, that is spot on, man, because I'm out here every single day fighting for my life for Coach Mike McCarthy. When I hear people say certain coaches are better than Coach Mike McCarthy, I'm like, are you kidding me? And these are the numbers right here that show it. All these dudes got streets and statues and all that named after him. And Tomlin will have one too, but it's just crazy that
like the disrespect that Coach Mike gets. You come into an organization with the Green Bay Packers who were terrible when you got the job. I want to say 4-12 when you got the job, whatever it may be. You come in with Brett Favre, you go your first season average, you go to the NFC Championship in 13-3. Then you go on to win a bunch of games, go to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, back to NFC Championship games, 15-1 season. Then you go to the Dallas Cowboys, and in 3 years, you go 12-12, something that has never been done in 4-1 in the history of the Dallas Cowboys. And I understand, man. Listen, whoever comes to the Dallas Cowboys, they have this target on their back because you ain't been to the NFC Championship in 30 years. Well, Coach Mike only been there 3 years. And he's had you with an opportunity in the playoffs to have a chance to compete. He's been there 30 years. He gave him his back 30 years, but in 3 years, he has 12, back-to-back in the postseason, division titles, and we sit here and talk about Mike like he's not a good coach. For certain situational call, it's crazy to me. It really is crazy to me. Yeah. They need to put more respect on those.
Yeah, it really is remarkable. If you're watching on television, we put up all these coaches, and just take out Andy and Beck. Don Shula was considered the best coach in his era. It had Dan Snyder. Record 19-17. So it's a take it deep.
And that's the thing too, though. Like, you need a really good quarterback to win at a high level in this league. You do, especially if you're talking about Super Bowls. We talk about Andy Reid as one of the greatest coaches ever now because he's winning Super Bowls. But he has arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. When he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, he had really good quarterbacks in Donovan McNabb.
I worked at another network. I spent years defending Andy Reid in Philadelphia. I'm like, this is the most clever coach in the league.
Yep.
I got nothing but pushback. I'm like, he's getting them to the NFC Championship with B-minus quarterback.
Yep.
Right? Like, you understand it doesn't work that way in the league.
And then he gets a really good quarterback and he
dominates,
take you over the hump to the Super Bowl.
You know a lot about Green Bay, and I was talking to somebody that covers the Packers the other day, and I said, for 3 years, we had more video on Bigfoot than Jordan Love. Yeah. And then his first 5 games, he was kind of awful. And he had an 8-game heater last year. Well, what do you think? If a wide receiver came into the league and had the drops, Cooper Kupp his first year had drops.
Yeah.
And you could say,
he's
slow. But we all knew he was getting open a lot. He was a great route runner. Young receivers can struggle, but you can go, that's going to work.
No doubt.
5 weeks in, I wasn't sure.
We were all scratching our heads.
I didn't think it was going to work.
Yeah.
Your sources, your friends close to Jordan Love, what's flipped?
Well, so the main thing was it was peanut butter jelly. It was real plain first 5 weeks, right?
You kept saying that.
Yeah, let's try to get this let's try to get this young fella, acclimated to the game, the speed of the game. Let's condense this plan, you know what I mean? And that wasn't helping him. Because when you condense a plan and you have a defense that's throwing all this stuff at you, a condensed plan on the offensive side is not going to help. Your first read is not going to be there. So now what are you going to do? Coach LaFleur opened the playbook for Jordan Love. Okay, man, you've been around under Aaron for a couple years now. You've been in my system for a couple years now. Why am I dumbing this thing down? You know the plays like the back of your hand. You've been in it. Yeah, you haven't had a lot of game experience, but you have ran these plays. And he opened the plan up. And once he opened the plan up, then Jordan Love started to take off. And when Jordan Love started to take off, Jordan Love started to get more comfortable. And then Jordan Love started to play outside the X's and O's.
And that's kind of, I contend he's more Favre than Aaron.
No doubt.
Aaron was very precise. Jordan was not always precise. Favre wasn't always precise. By the way, Mahomes' early years wasn't precise. A lot of these guys are paint by numbers.
Yep.
Brady was a lot of them. That's okay. But a lot of these guys, it would be like telling Kobe Bryant, there's 4 plays you can run.
Yeah.
You're taking an artist and saying, you've got to say, no spilling paint.
Can't do that.
You know what I mean? Like Randy Moss sometimes, I'm like, fella, get open.
Yeah. Can't do that. Or with Randy Moss, hey, I am open, even if it's 3 people. Throw it up over there, and I'll make you right. And I think that's what Jordan Love did, especially that 8-game span. He let Coach LaFleur know, no matter what play you call, I got it, and I'm going to play outside the X's and O's. When you watch Jordan Love play, it's so many plays that you could touch on, and you could be watching him play, and you can say, oh, my goodness, this dude is going to be like that. And I think that playing outside the X's and O's, once he got comfortable and started to take off, that's what you've seen. And you started to see a young superstar emerge. Jordan Love is going to be a really good football player. But early in the season, it was really, really plain. And you cannot do that. I understand you're trying to slow it down. But I don't know if people understand. When you're in training camp and you're putting in install 1, right, for offense, it's like 6, 7 plays, really plain, right? The defense already got cover 2, cover 3, cover 4.
is better at the top of the case, right? The defense is good too.
good chest pass right there. People $500. What the hell's going on? There's beef there? It's got a little bit larger. But we appreciate your commitment. Thank you, guys.
It's fun. Don't you worry. Can you tattoo the shaft? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love that. You can do anything. People do the thing through it. Yeah, Albert's out. Yeah. That's why. I heard about that. Seriously, these are called deep. First episode of Jersey Shore. Yep, he's gone. But thanks to them for doing it. Showing us what's possible. Right. Amen. Showing us what's possible. Thank us so much. Let's get the hell out of here and rolling right now. It's very emotional. Yeah. I think it's arms on. Yeah, he's jacked. Jeez. It is an let's go back there. Yeah. Hey, Richard, go to your team over there. I think Jason might let him please earn it, by the way. Yeah. He's locked in. You talking about they close speeds? Is that what he said? Well, I think he was talking about just being like fall. Yeah. Oh, because I thought they called big poles full. Bigger and later. So was that it? It wasn't big pole fall. Big. Was it a little? Or no, it's Big Richard. Yeah, Big Richard. Big Richard. Big. Yes, it's full. Yeah. So it's true. Jason confirmed. They said biggest hog of the team. Yeah. That's not what he said. That's what he said. Exactly what I said. I didn't hear that. There's a chance that is what he said.
He would know, right? He said, mostly I think he said just like, yeah, sure. That's a yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. That's what I think. His ass. Yeah. His ass. So it's following this guy. Big dick. That's what I thought. And you say big balls? I mean, he said balls for yeah, coconuts. Yeah. Fun chance to potentially see Doug Peterson's combine this weekend. Well, hello, Matt. No, I hope you're doing well this morning. It's good to see you as always. Listen, I'm just curious. I noticed that in every single one of those pictures you took, you're wearing the same suit. So I'm just curious. Were you only at the combine one day? Did you only work one day? I mean, you talk about how you're the hardest working guy ever. You're there one day? Like, what's going on? I don't know, Ty. I mean, I'm in Milwaukee. It's a fucking fashion show. I'm there for work, asswipe, okay? So, yeah, I mean, if you want to go and play brand out for people, oh, hey, look at my Versace suit, look at my, listen, it's very simple. Yes, I wear these same suits and shirt combo, tie combo every single day. You heard Steve Jobs, okay? You do that every single day. Take one decision out of your day. It's a very beautiful, nice suit. $79 Macy's, okay? Very, very dependable. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm up there trying to, get on the road and look at these geez, man, no, this guy's fucking sexy. I'm there through 20 NFL GMs, all personnel, staff. Oh, hey, this is what you've got to do to win a Super Bowl. I mean, the fact that you even ask that question tells me how big of a dipshit you are and how much just how foolish you are. So, don't be taking any fucking questions from you for a long time. Jeez. Fuck this, I'm done. Okay, I'm giving you guys much bullshit. Whoa, you guys. Whoa, what did I say? Hey, where you go? Is my phone still there? No, I don't got to do this. I don't got anything to do. I mean, I got hours and hours of film I could be looking at. These fucking assholes treat me, like a stand-up comedy special. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm fucking sick of it. Okay, I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. Fuck them. Gee, yeah. Sorry. Besides the way that thing walked away. What was that all? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, professionalism maybe, just a tad bit. It's all right. Draft season's about Wilson. If you're Russell Wilson, you want to go to a place that's going to have success? It's worth nothing. It's like, why not? You don't care to get jumped up? I mean, I feel like I might be. Jesus. Do you think it doesn't talk about New England? Well, I don't think it has to do with New England. You got time right now? No, I'm not going to dive. I have to do with my DoorDash right before this. But I will say, that was the greatest. Some would say that. I would not. Great. Hour and 20. I'll be ready to have hour and 20. Only do a lot of it. Your final got here after an hour. 5 minutes before show starts. Finally gets been watching this car drive through Indiana. Yeah, looked like the Skywriters going out like William American. Getting all the way here. Yeah. Did not have another order drop off. Literally, you have no idea how this became the path to get here. Me neither. We're following along. You're growing in anger. Oh, yeah. Growing in anger. Human, yes. Because you get a big tip beforehand. Ordered it early because I was extra hungry. Yeah, because long night last night, got back from San Antonio 2, 3 a.m. The whole thing happens. Then finally gets Foster Parking. Finally. Turns around. Beats the gate, shut it back. Yeah. Leaves Billy. We're watching it all take place. Outside. We're watching. We just got waiting for this. This has become a story of the last hour and 20. His father's obviously a bit dramatic. He leaves. Goes into the neighborhood across the street, drives around, comes back. You shut the entire 4-egg bottle down your bottle within 30 seconds of our show starting. Yeah. Congratulations for handling it, Russell. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I kind of channel my inner Russell Wilson. But if you were to think for Russell, I like that. Yeah, right? That's full. That's not full stuff. Full stuff. Well, not completely full because the food is ice cold. Yeah. I ran through the broken heart too. Because my broken heart definitely out for that for a very, very long time. I missed the tank top. I missed those panty guns. What happened? Well, inspirational. No. What you gotta remember, those tank tops, like, I was really fat, so those things were very loose. Those were very loose, but I only had the arms there. They felt like real cold here in Indiana. And I just looked at myself and said, I'm not the only one wearing a tank top every single day. I can wear a shirt, so I said, tank tops are coming back, though, Bill. We're almost in the season. You know, all this in the spring and summer. You're an idiot.
I know, but you know, you don't know, you also, as far as you're working, you don't want to pay yourself for the corner like Angus Young of ACDC. He doesn't want to win it for you anymore, but he says, you know, he's got to do it. See, 68 years old. 68 years old. Still got to put it on. Put on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. That would be you. Oh, come on, you be your 60s, your grandmother, like, I don't want to see that. You're right, I'm in the right side. I'm in the movement south. I'm in the future man. You're going on with like, you're a director, you're a producer, you carry your camera. I mean, it's a wild thing. I'm like, oh my God. Derek, it's just all over the place. All right, so what do you want to like aggressively act like you're talking about, but really traffic needs and my fan base? Let's get into it, man. What do you got to do?
I want to let you know, obviously, we have a Boston scumbag on the program. Boston Connor. He got a brand new tag. We're talking about Grandma Saggy Arms. I got a brand new tag that says we're on to Cincinnati, quoted by who? William Steven Belichick right there. Okay, so we got a big-time Patriots fan on a microphone and everything. What do you think of that tag, first of all?
I don't know. Well, you got to give it up. It's one of the most painful parts to get a tattoo. A lot of guys back in the 90s when they went for the tribal armband, they would tap out when they got to the inner arm. So I got to give them up for that. I don't know, as far as like tattoos like that, I'm a big fan of post-it. You know, you just kind of write it down, you put it on the fridge, you don't need to put it on your arm. That's also a very weird way, like, you're going to remind yourself like that. Or you're supposed to be going like this to opposing team's fans, at which point you think you at least get the shaker rate or something going on.
Yeah, we're trying, Bill. It's going to come plenty of time till beach season, okay? You got arm shaking.
The Midwest does not look good on you. You got the mullet, you got the mustache. I mean, you got to get back east and get yourself stuff. And start doing your stuff.